Welcome to the channel, guys. Kyle is here with us today.
What's up?
The essentials, which are those right there. And they are yours, correct?
Yep.
Oh yeah, rocking it. We got heat, which is a big plus, even though it's like 60 degrees out. I don't know. He's always cold. So, we got the new block right here, ready to rock and roll. It's been ready to rock and roll for about 18 months now. So, just kidding. Anyway, we got a pretty big portion of the motor tore apart. I know it wasn't in any of the videos, so before you guys start freaking out that I didn't put it in any of the videos, a lot of it was minor stuff that you guys should be able to figure out on your own. And I'm not going to go over every single thing with the motor and how to remove every single thing. So basically the supercharger and the intake manifold are all gone, and I removed the intercooler pump as well, which is down there, and already went over the exhaust side on the last video. So there hasn't been too much that came off. And also we pulled the bolts out of the valve cover, and there you can get the inside of the head, which actually looks relatively clean, really clean actually. I was actually really impressed with the way that looked for almost having 250,000 miles on it. And Kyle got his hands dirty, so he's done for the day. Anyway, so what we're going to do today and what we're going to try to accomplish is we're going to roll this block over, and we are going to mount the drain pan. Finally, the drain pan right there that I've had now for quite a few months, and it needs to be put on. So got a bunch of parts in the mail the other day, but that is going to be on a future video. Today we're just going to get the drain pan mounted and get that ready to rock and roll and get it good to go. Alright, so we got the motor rolled now on the engine stand, and we have the drain pan sitting here ready to go. And basically what you want to do, if you're actually doing this and replacing a pan, or you just it leaks or whatever the case may be, you're gonna have to get the old gasket off of the drain pan before you can begin to put the new one on. In my case, I don't have to do that because it's a new block, new drain pan, so I don't have to worry about any of that. So basically what you want to do is you want to take your gasket maker, your RTV, silicone, and you're going to want to go around the entire drain pan, go around the bolt holes and everything, and even around the oil port passageway a little bit. Put it on there, and according to the instructions on here, it tells you to let it sit, let dry for 1 hour, and then tighten to the torque specs. And you can't just go and tighten, oh, I just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and tighten all the way around. There is a specific torque pattern that you have to go around the drain pan, and which I have right here, which is another reason why I bought this book. And that gives you what starts at 1, goes to 2, 3, and so on, to what bolts you have to tighten in which order. So you want to make sure you do that, and I highly suggest getting one of these books, as I said in the last video, because it gives you all the torque specs, and especially for the drain pan and also the head, it tells you what bolts you need to tighten in which order. So it's definitely going to come in handy if you're doing something like this. So we'll get the gasket on there, or the silicone I should say, and get it ready and get it thrown on there and get it tightened up. So now we can begin to put on our gasket maker. We'll pierce the end of it here. And it doesn't need a lot, but you basically just need to go, and I'm going to go around the holes just a little bit. Like a 1/4 inch is what you need to do the entire way around. You want to go on the inside of every bolt. You could probably go around the whole thing, which I might. Very tedious. All right, you just start to put all the bolts in. Only hand tight, because according to the RTV silicone, we have to let it set up for an hour. We want to put all the bolts in hand tight until it starts to squeeze out, and then after an hour of it setting up, we can begin to tighten them to the torque specs. And then obviously 24 hours until you can actually fill it back up, which we're so far away from that point that doesn't matter. All right, so the drain pan is mounted on the block, and like I said, you want to just basically tighten these down all by hand, just enough so they start to squeeze out. And you can see really well how much it's squeezing out, which is a really good sign. That means you definitely got enough gasket material and silicone on there. And it did that the whole way around, so that's a big plus. So we'll basically wait an hour before we go and torque them the rest of the way down. And basically it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, I believe, over at the corner, 4 over here. So we'll just follow that pattern then once we get after the hour, after this sets up a little bit. And that'll basically be it of the video. And I'm also going to be swapping out the stock bolt that came with it, the drain pan bolt itself, the drain bolt. And I'm going to be putting in a magnetic drain bolt, just because I do that with everything. The bike has a magnetic drain bolt in it. And it just feels a lot nicer to actually have a magnetic drain bolt. So if there is shavings in your motor or whatnot, it goes there instead of elsewhere in your motor. So that's definitely going to be a plus. And actually right here it is. So I'll be swapping that out, and that can be done anytime. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, be sure to let them below. This was a little bit more in-depth than what we have been doing. So hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, check out some of the other videos, share the video. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.